Football is ignoring this player, and it makes no sense. Football is ignoring a player it shouldn't be able to ignore, not because he isn't performing, not because he isn't consistent, but because, somehow, he doesn't fit the story. And the strange part? The evidence has been there all season, right in front of us, visible, measurable, undeniable. And still, almost nobody is talking about it. This is how modern football works. Attention decides everything. We follow the biggest names. We repeat the loudest narratives. Players like Kylian Mbappe dominate headlines. Rising stars like Lamine Yamal capture imagination. And again, that makes sense. Because football has always needed faces, stories, moments. But performance? Performance doesn't wait for attention. It happens whether we're watching or not. And sometimes, the best performance in the sport is happening just outside the spotlight. Because right now, quietly, consistently, relentlessly, Michael Olise is outperforming nearly every wide player in Europe's. This stops being a debate. It becomes a problem. Because across Europe's top leagues, when you map attacking output, you expect competition. Clusters of players performing at similar levels, margins separating the elite. But this season, there's a gap, a real one. Olise sits at the top in expected assists, shot-creating actions, progressive carries, final third involvement, and most importantly, combined attacking output per 90. That last one matters most, because it measures everything: creation, finishing, influence. And when you combine all of it, he isn't just leading, he's separated. But numbers can only take you so far, because stats tell you what is happening, not why it's happening. And with Olise, the why is where this becomes impossible to ignore. On paper, there's nothing unusual about him. Left-footed, right-winger. That profile is everywhere in modern football, which means defenders already know the plan. He's going inside. They prepare for it. They adjust their positioning. They try to force him wide. And still, it doesn't work. Because Olise isn't playing the same game. Most attackers receive the ball, then decide what to do. Olise decides before the ball arrives. His body is already half turned toward goal. So when he takes his first touch, it's not control, it's progression. That tiny detail removes time. And at the highest level of football, time is the most valuable resource there is. Defenders rely on fractions of a second to reset their shape, to recycle play, to slow things down. Olise does the opposite. He carries the ball to create a problem, a specific problem, in a specific zone, usually the right half space. And from there, he produces something that very few players in Europe can replicate consistently. A delivery that doesn't quite fit any category. Not a traditional cross, not a through ball, something in between. It bends, it drops, it arrives, exactly when it needs to. For the defender, step forward, you leave space behind. Drop back, you invite pressure. For the goalkeeper, come out, you risk being beaten. But what makes this season different, what makes it rare, is that he isn't just creating, he's finishing too. Because usually in football, players specialize. You're either or a finisher, a creator, or a finisher. Very few operate at elite level in both. But this season, Olise is doing exactly that. High shot quality, high conversion rate, positive goals versus expected goals. That last one matters, because it tells you he's not just benefiting from chances, he's outperforming them, consistently, over a large sample, which means it's not luck, it's ability. Now compare that to the player football has already chosen as its future, Lamine Yamal. At 18 years old, he's extraordinary. One-on-one ability, creativity, fearlessness. There's no question about his talent. But right now, across the full attacking profile, creation, output, consistency, Olise is ahead. That doesn't diminish Yamal. It just places Olise exactly where he is, at the top. And this is where the conversation shifts, because performances like this don't just define seasons. Historically, the players who dominate. Domestically, they define recognition. Historically, the players who dominate. Domestically, in European competition, in the same season, enter a different level of conversation. Awards, legacy, status. And right now, Olise is building that profile. Without the noise, without the narrative, just through performance. The game hasn't caught up yet, because football doesn't move at the speed of data. It moves at the speed of attention. And attention is slow. It lags behind reality, until eventually, it doesn't. Ignore them for a while, but not forever. So go back to the beginning. Go back to the numbers. Go back to the evidence. It's all there. One player, separated from the rest. Not by opinion, but by production. Football will notice eventually. It always does. The only question is, why hasn't it already?